Welcome back, and today I'm talking once again about PSVR2, but today we're covering the launch games that I'll be playing come February 22nd, and the reasons why I'll be playing them. These are games you can get day one, or even buy now, or pre-order, or will be upgrades, and since we're only a month away from launch, I thought this would be a good time to cover some of my most anticipated titles that you should keep an eye out. Some of these I haven't played, some of these I have, but can't wait to try the upgrades or PSVR2 versions, so let's get straight into it. First up is one of the most obvious, and that is Horizon Call of the Mountain. I've even bought the bundle with this game in for my PSVR2. I'll be playing this on day one because it's probably my most anticipated title in terms of visuals and new content, and something that I've never seen before. Promising around an 8-hour long campaign if you beeline it, immersive mechanics, amazing visuals, characters appearing from the Horizon series, using eye tracking for menus, and showing off all of the DualSense features, the headset haptics, the foveated rendering, the lot. This game is going to be the flagship one to play on PSVR2 if you're looking to get anyone into it, or even new to it yourself. The only thing this title might be lacking is free locomotion during battles. But this is, for all intents and purposes, meant to be a beginner's VR game that a beginner player would be comfortable with playing, and it's going to be interesting to see how they balance that for veteran players like myself and newbies coming to the headset for the first time. Not only will it offer its campaign, which will provide immersive hours of content, it's also got a river ride that you could place a friend or family member into who's never tried VR before if they're over at your house, and show them the ropes, show them the visuals, the immersion, and I'm sure this one is going to provide an amazing experience. This is one that I'd recommend getting day one, and I'll be doing the same. I won't be surprised if a lot of other content creators are going to be live streaming this come February 22nd, because it really is the Half-Life Alyx of the PlayStation VR2 lineup right now. Next, we have a PSVR game that is getting an upgrade that I've played a lot of hours in, both flat and in VR, and there's only one game that's really going to apply to here apart from Resident Evil, and that is No Man's Sky. Even without the VR feature, No Man's Sky is an immersive space game that lets you explore countless worlds, upgrade your ships, build bases, and do this all with friends, which is one of my favourite features of the game. Even if survival games aren't really your style, you can hop into No Man's Sky and turn off those features and give yourself an immersive experience in creative, just exploring planets, creating bases, not having to worry about the survival aspects. It's got accessibility features for everyone, and because it's such a calm and casual game if you want it to be, you can adjust all of these things with basically no repercussions. This is a game that you can play no matter what your playstyle is. And I'm sure the visuals alone on PSVR2 will be incredible and reason enough to play it. Even on the original PSVR headset with its limited resolution, No Man's Sky looks stunning on the PS5, so I can't wait for the PS5 version on PSVR2 to see what that looks like. I've spent countless hours exploring new planets, derelict spaceships, and marveling at the game's visuals and features over these last couple of years on PSVR 1. And this is one definitely to look forward to, because it's also a free upgrade if you already own it on PSVR and PS4. Penultimately on my games I will be playing on launch day, we have Kayak VR Mirage. Now I have sung this game's praises time and time again on the channel, back when it launched, and then when it had its Christmas update, and it is worthy of that praise. One of the best looking games I've ever played, full stop. Not just VR, but flat screen as well. This game is photorealistic. It's one of the most calming experiences I've ever had playing a video game. If you've had a hard day and you're coming back home and you want something to wind down on, Kayak VR Mirage will be the game for you. Multiple locations to paddle around in, wildlife to see like sharks, whales, orcas, and dolphins, and plenty of landmarks to go and visit. This one will blow you away, and it's also one of the games you'll be able to show to anybody who hasn't tried VR before, and they'll pick it up instantly. There's no janky controls, it is just natural kayaking, and it is the perfect game to show a newbie. If you want to get someone into VR for the first time on your PSVR2 headset, the foveated rendering and the haptics on the water will make it so that this experience is crystal clear and easily accessible to anyone. I would strongly recommend. Next up, we have Gran Turismo 7. Like many other people, I picked up this game in the previous sale it was on, back at the start of January, and I've been enjoying it ever since. With a racing sim wheel setup, it's incredible on the flat screen. It's got some of the best visuals I've ever seen in a driving game, It's got a nice balance between casual and sim, and you can push it all the way to being a proper sim racer if you want to, but it also accommodates for the more casual players like myself. And in VR, this is going to be stunning because it's not just a mode like GT Sport had, where you could play 1v1 head-to-head races. You can actually play the full game, aside from co-op split screen, on the PSVR2. All maps, all cars, all events. I am wondering how features like the menus and the scapes are going to work in VR. I'm assuming the scapes where you take photos of your car won't be in full 360 degrees because the frames that you place your cars in just don't accommodate for that. And also for the menus, I'm assuming we're just going to get a screen floating in a black void. But who knows, it would be really cool to see the map in full 3D 360 degrees. But I'm not holding my breath on that one. What I am banking on though is some incredible visuals and immersion when it comes to the car interiors. They'll look amazing on the flat screen, and I can't wait to see them up close in the PSVR2 headset. I wonder if the headset haptics will kick in when you accelerate fast. That would be an amazing feature to have and add to the immersion. And the foveated rendering are going to keep these visuals looking very, very sharp. So this is another one to look out for. It's coming as a free update, just like No Man's Sky, on February 22nd. And finally, on my list of games I'll be playing day one, we have one that is just being confirmed, and that is Pavlov VR. This is one that I've tried a little bit on PC. There's a little bit of miscommunication about this game, but from what I can tell, we are getting crossplay with PC, and we are getting mod support, albeit limited mod support, in the future, potentially. Now, for those of you who don't know, Pavlov is a shooter game, first-person shooter, although most shooters in VR are first-person shooters, since you are looking through the eyes of the character, with realistic gun handling, satisfying shooting mechanics, multiple eras such as modern and World War II to fight in, many game modes such as TTT, prop hunt, team deathmatch, and objective-based modes, and ultimately this one is one of the best-selling games on PC VR and Quest for a reason. Pavlov is at the top of the game in terms of VR shooters, and this is a title that's actually kind of dampened my excitement for Firewall Ultra when that launches. Obviously there's more of that game that we need to see still, and we don't know when it's actually coming out, but the fact that Pavlov is coming to PSVR 2 kind of fills that need for a shooter that I have, and I'm not sure if I'll need any more after it. However, maybe Firewall will be drastically different. It's a lot slower paced, but Pavlov will be replacing Alvo as my go-to shooter on PlayStation 5 in terms of VR. These titles I've elaborated on will be the titles that I'm playing on launch day. But what will you be playing? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you did enjoy today's video, and I hope to see you again in the future.